The history of technology started even before the beginning of our species. Stones were used as knives, hammers, and anvils. The tools were made 3.3 million years ago and were likely used by Australopithecus. The first use of fire is still definitively not known, but evidence of burnt material can be found in caves used by Homo erectus beginning about 1 million years ago. The Neolithic period, humans moved from getting their food by foraging to getting it through agriculture. People came together in larger groups, clay was used for pottery and bricks, clothing was made of woven fabrics, and the wheel was also likely invented at this time. It is also in this era when the first irrigation systems were first utilized. During the Iron Age, the production of iron became widespread. By the 9th century, alchemists in China invented gunpowder. Nearly 5,000 years after the first sailing ships, the windmill has been speculated to have been invented independently in Persia and Europe. The famous inventions appeared in the 14th to 18th century, starting from Gutenberg's printing press, Watt's improved Newcomen's steam engine, Richard Repeltic's first railway locomotive, and Robert Fulton's invention of the steamboat. There is also Samuel Morse's electric telegraph, the first telephone made by Alexander Graham Bell, the light bulb invented by famous American inventor Thomas Edison, and the first modern automobile by Carl Benz. By the early 19th century, several technologies such as radio, airplanes, and liquid-fueled rockets were invented. Aside from these technologies, there were also television, computer, nuclear power, transistor, and the Soviet Union's first artificial satellite Sputnik 1. In the late 19th century is the era of digital age, with the emergence of personal computers, the internet, and the World Wide Web. Modern technology also introduced artificial intelligence, which is said to be far more intelligent than humans.
Science and technology are interrelated with each other. Scientific ideas give additional knowledge to technological possibilities. New techniques and tools contribute to better engineering design and knowledge tools for assessment and the feasibility of designs. Research tools and instruments, laboratory techniques, and analytical methods are used for understanding new human skills and capabilities. Innovation becomes relevant in technology and evaluation in terms of its broader social and environmental aspects. Scientific strategies were also applied in research development and improvement of new technologies.
Today, scientific and technological advancements are powerful, have pervasive impacts, and significantly contributed to all fundamental aspects of our lives. And in this progress, for instance, in healthcare, has given doctors the ability to treat patients well. Medical discoveries such as penicillin and the development of vaccines prevented countless individuals from contracting serious diseases. Furthermore, the advent of communication technology has contributed to the spread of global dissemination of cultural goods, information, freedom, and democracy. Communicating all over the world was also made possible through electronic mails and different social media platforms. However, there are also adverse effects. People tend to misuse the technologies available to them, which often leads to the destruction of their well-being. Another is society's dependence on technology. People spend most of their time immersed in the online world such as social media instead of focusing on the real world. This in turn makes a lot of people lazy and lose interest in physical activities like exercise. Consequently, overexposure to digital technology leads to certain health issues such as headaches, migraines, back pain, and the development of poor eyesight. Other technologies have brought issues on moral and ethics as well. Lastly, the environment is heavily affected by the rise of science and technology. Several technologies were huge contributors to the levels of soil and air toxicity, as well as the emission of harmful byproducts, which leads to environmental degradation.
As human society continues to interact with science and technology, it is accompanied by constant progress relating to human flourishing. Science and technology are part of what supports human flourishing. These two components transform the human way of living in numerous ways. Machines were able to facilitate labor, discoveries in medicine miraculously treated ailments, inventions provided man with abundant resources, digital tools enabled easier communication, and progress in science expanded one's knowledge of the natural world and the universe. But technological advancement is not always problem-free, and even ardent defenders of innovation acknowledge that the current era of innovation is loaded with concern for unpremeditated effects of society's flourishing. For instance, the technology that eases labor may detach a person from having a meaningful sense of work. What can cure diseases also insinuates the idea that the human body is something to be engineered, modified, and immortalized. Poor technological methods of harnessing resources from land and water ecosystems may cause long-term effects on the environment. Furthermore, even if technology made instant communication with others around the world possible, it often creates distance between people, undermining the stability necessary for families and communities to thrive. And as technology provides ever-increasing knowledge, one may quite reasonably wonder whether such knowledge is being used to bring about a wiser and more just world.
The younger generations are the hope of the future. In this era, where everything revolves around technology, must be accomplished is to start doing something that would be beneficial for the world. Several years from now, there will be further progress in science and technology as well as emergence of new innovations. The Philippines, being a developing country, is certainly falling behind in terms of technological advancements. Thus, for the Philippine youth to keep up with the demands of the changing world centered around science and technology, there must be a certain goals to be achieved to assist the younger generation in preparation for their future. Because as a future leaders, the youth will be the ones to open the path towards another level of human flourishing.
The youth of the Philippines must acquire the skills necessary in preparation for the future. This acquisition of skills must start at an early age, for when time comes, they will have the power and abilities to address the issues, problems, and challenges brought by science and technology, not just in the Philippine society but also in the world. The skills the younger generation will need is the ability to cope and adapt well to several environmental and technological challenges. They must be literate enough on how to utilize properly the technology made available for them that are useful not only for themselves but also for other people. Furthermore, the youth needs to learn how to be more sustainable to prevent scarcity of resources. Other skills needed are learning and innovation skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, communication, collaboration, creativity, and innovation. Youth of the future also has to be digitally literate to have a wider understanding of the new trends in technology and to be able to cope with it. There are also career and life skills such as flexibility, adaptability, social and cross-cultural interaction, productivity, accountability, and the most important, leadership and responsibility. To achieve this goal, there should be improvements in the Philippines education system. It should focus on young learners' exposure to real-life experiences which will help in improving their skills.
This generation's youth will be the hope of the future. Acquiring skills is crucial for achieving the main goal, which is changing society in hopes of a better life for future generations. To produce capable young leaders, it is essential to start honing the skills of young generations immediately to achieve the main goal.